Hello guys, Commodious here. So, it's been a while since I made a tutorial about, like trees and how to make them. And, let's be honest, my last one, it wasn't very good. So, I decided I'm gonna show you guys how to make 3 different types of trees, including this right here, a palm tree, and also a nice old little classic, kind of a forest tree. So yeah, this tutorial is for people that are intermediate with the Maker Pen, so if you're not already like quite decent, then maybe like go watch a couple tutorials on how to get better, and then come back and maybe watch this. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so since it's the most easy, pretty much, and like, just the most recognizable, I'm gonna start off with the normal kind of tree that you saw in my dorm a minute ago, which is now actually gone, because I deleted it all. So just open up your Maker Pen, put your snapping to grid, and then open your palette, press create, then go to your settings right here. Now, keep uniform shapes on, put your position snap to 5 if you don't already have it there. Put your tube facets to 10, smooth tubes on, keep your tube height ratio as 100%, keep fixed tube width off, and then keep 8 centimeters as the tube size. Now you can just close this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just hold down on your Maker Pen very hard, like this, so you have the maximum tube size. Then you can let go, and then all you're going to want to do is just, press down again, but a bit lighter, and go up to a certain level around about here. So it's kind of like a cone almost, but it's a tree, so it's not like weird looking. Now what we're going to do is the branches. So what we're going to do is just do that again, so we get a very hard part at the very bottom, and then we're going to like branch it off to the side like this, which can actually break it. So if it looks like it's going to break, then do it on the other side. So like this, and make sure it's quite thick, and then at the end of the thick part we'll make it thinner again, and just have it like going a lot thinner and longer like that. So you'll have pretty much a perfect kind of tree branch. Now we're going to want to recolor these, so just press recolor on your Maker Pen, then you get your palette out, go to colors, and then go to the last page. Either pick this color right here, literally just called brown, or pick mocha, chocolate, or possibly even like burnt umber, but I think brown is just the best, so pick brown. Then go to your materials, and either pick wood grain right here, or painted wood right here. Personally, I prefer painted wood because it looks a bit more, like realistic. So once you've got those, just recolor the tree base, then recolor the branch, and now turn your snapping off right here, and then just scale the branch down. So once you've scaled it down, you can just move it and try and put it in place on the tree itself like this. Now if it doesn't match still, and it's a bit too big, you can scale it down in the position, and just make sure that everything matches up like this, where it's in the tree, and it's pretty much perfect, you see. Now I'm just going to press clone on my Maker Pen, and I'm going to clone it on the other side of the tree. I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to press manipulate on my Maker Pen, manipulate this one up and a bit out like this. So now we've pretty much got the kind of base of the tree done. Now if you don't want it to be too big, you can actually like fold these in for the branches, which I highly suggest doing, because you don't want your tree being too big. So I'm going to do that right now, and it'll kind of look like a brown cactus. So now just put your snapping back to grid, press create, then go back to your settings again, and put your tube facets to 6, then go to shapes, go to the materials, pick carpet right here, then go to colors, and pick either this green right here called peridot, terravert, like viridian, or emerald. I personally prefer peridot, and just really nice. So now we're going to do something very similar to what we did with the branches. So we're going to start off very hard down here, and then we're just going to start going a bit you know, kind of, how do I put this? Smaller, like this. And make sure that it goes slightly smaller, but not too small. Now, if you get this glitch right here at the bottom, all you're going to want to do is press manipulate, and literally just manipulate this upside down, and you know, it'll be back to normal, and you'll have a point on each end. Now just press scale and turn your snapping off right here, and now you can just scale it up, and now just move it over here, and you know, I don't really like the size for that, so we're just gonna scale it up a little bit more like this, and then just move it down. And what we do now is we just clone it around, and if you get the right pattern, it will look really nice. So just put it kind of like everywhere on there. So you can see now it's actually going over, so I'm going to select all of it using the select tool, all the leaves, and yeah, I'm just going to move it over here on top, because you know, it was just looking a bit clunky, and yeah, you've now got a kind of realistic tree. So that was the kind of standard tree. Now I'm going to go over the palm tree, and then I'll finish with a kind of like an OG kind of tree. So let's get into the palm tree. So now for the palm tree, make sure that your grid snap is on, and then go to materials and your palette, pick painted wood colors, pick any of the browns like before, or maybe even pick leather, but I'd suggest just normal brown again. Obviously you can do leather if you want. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit at the end, and I'll show you how. But yeah, pick one of them, then go to your settings, tube presets 10, then keep the tube sizes 8, and keep all the settings from the last one if you haven't already seen. So what you're gonna want to do is just start hard at the bottom like this. Oh, and now just go a bit taller like this, not getting too thin, and kind of like curving it a little bit, because we don't want it to be too, you know, straight, because it is a palm tree, remember. Now we pretty much have the base of the palm tree. It's very simple and doesn't take up much ink, so it's kind of just efficient. So now just open up your palette again, now go to shapes, and then you know, get your green. Now I prefer using terry vert here, or even peridot, but you know, sometimes that can be a bit too kind of green. Personally, I don't think emerald or viridian actually work for this, so I'm going to use peridot. So now go to materials right here and pick sand as the leaves. Now you're probably thinking, why is that? Well, it just looks good. Now press on your settings again, and then go to tube height ratio, put this down to 20%, put your tube sets as 5, and you'll see it has like kind of a little bit of a crease kind of looking feel. I don't know how to explain, but it's like a palm tree leaf. Now yet again, keep fixed tube width off, and we're gonna start kind of small like this. You can see very small, and get a bit bigger right here, and then we'll get smaller. We're gonna curve it down, getting like smaller on each kind of part of the leaf like this. And once you've got that, you're probably thinking, oh, short leaf, what's the point? Well, we manipulate it. So I prefer doing like double each one pretty much. So you'll see what I'm doing, but we'll like extend all of them so they actually look nice, like this. Now once you've got your perfect little leaf, you can just turn your snapping off, and then go to move, and move this over here. Now what we're going to do is multiple layers, so I'm going to put a couple here. I like doing 3 on the kind of bottom, and then we're going to do a couple more elevated, so like this. And now I'm going to do a couple going down, because you know, we like kind of, you know, a bit of, how do I put this, diversity with our leaves. So you can see now we have a kind of weird palm tree looking thing, and it's not done. So just grab one of these leaves again, right here, and you're probably thinking, what are we doing now? Well, we're gonna recolor this. So press on recolor, and then you'll get your palette out, and go to not painted wood, wood grain right here. Go to your colors, and then pick either leather or tawny. But I prefer leather for this, so just press X, and recolor that. Now we're just gonna scale this down to be a little bit smaller, like this. And what you do now is you just put a couple of these round, and it just makes it look better in the end. Alright, just put that here. And then one right here. And we just kind of have like a couple of them. So like that really, it looks like a proper palm tree. Now what we're gonna do is edit it again, and for this we're pressing create, grid. Now we're gonna pick tawny with the dirt. Now we're just gonna go to settings again, right here, 2 presets 10, to height ratio 100, and we're gonna make kind of like a sphere for, you know, the actual palm tree itself. So just start big right here, and then get a bit, you know, not thinner, like too much, like a little bit thinner, and then just kind of either leave it or, like, you know, find a way to perfectly like round it off, like this right here. And once you've gotten that perfectly, you can just press clone, and then turn your snapping off, and use this arrow right here, the mirror, and just mirror it like this, and you'll see it's kind of like a sphere kind of shape, except it's not perfectly sphere, which is perfect for this because we don't want it to be sphere. So we can just move that up, and then select both of these, which it can be hard to do, you know, and then just press move, and we just put it right here. But we're going to make it smaller because that's very big. And you just put it at the very head of the palm tree right here. And make sure it's like in the middle of all the wood, so it actually looks like, you know, an actual palm tree. So now just press edit again, and this is what I was talking about with like tawny and everything, for the different materials. So just clone this like tree kind of body itself, and just press recolor, and then go to either dirt or like wood grain, or any kind of material that looks kind of like naturey. I would suggest those two though. So I'm gonna pick dirt, and then what we're gonna do is either pick normal brown or leather. Now I do suggest just using the same color as what was used there, but obviously you can use different colors if you want and spruce it up a little bit. But we're just gonna place it back in the middle of the tree right there, and then we're gonna manipulate it. So just manipulate it so it's actually inside of the other part of the tree, and that all the textures are overlapping. And you can see right here the head, and just overlapping that. And so obviously you can always change it at any point really, just like this. And you can see it's part dirt, part painted wood, and it's pretty poggers. So there's your realistic palm tree. So yeah, that's that done. That's probably the most complicated thing that I've done in my tutorials, but still, if you want a palm tree looking like that, then it'll be pretty cool. Obviously, you can also add coconuts as just spheres, or using that kind of method with you know, the rounded kind of head right there. Except that's not really like a sphere. But yeah, if you want to just play it cool and use spheres, then that's fine. For coconuts, but I don't want coconuts on mine because coconut bad. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the OG kind of forest tree design. So this is very simple actually, and a lot of people use it. So just open up your maker pen again, press create, grid snap, and then pick leather as your material. Obviously you can choose something else, and go to your materials, either use wood grain or painted wood, but, you know, I always use painted wood because it's, you know, it just looks more realistic. And as I've always done, just start at the base, very, you know, like hard again, and just kind of drag this up and very steadily get it tiny at the top, like this. And you'll see, I accidentally did something there, but it kind of like just slowly goes up and it just looks nice. So now what we're gonna do is get another like color for our leaves. So I haven't used one of these kind of greens, so I'm gonna use Viridian because it is kind of like a forest tree in it. So we're gonna go to, you know, our materials right here, and since it's leaves, I'm gonna use sand because, you know, sand leaves equal pog. And now I'm just gonna press settings again. I'm gonna put my tube for sets as 5, very similar to what we did with the palm tree, except it's not a palm tree and it's a forest tree. And now just put your tube height ratio as 10, and what you're going to want to do is get that little tip right there, which you can barely see on here, but you're going to want to get that at the top, and just start kind of small, get bigger, and then get, like, you got to kind of raise it up like this, and then kind of do that, and kind of like, it's hard to explain, but you've kind of got to like curve it in a way, which can be very hard to do. But I think that's kind of good. Personally, I don't like it being that short, so I'm going to manipulate it, like I did with the palm tree. And you'll see it gradually just looks a bit better once you do that. So now we can turn our snapping off, and basically what you do is you just put them on the tree. So just scaled it down a little bit, and then just move. And you're going to want to start with the big ones at the bottom, like this. Make sure like the head is showing too. So start with the bigger ones at the bottom, and then once you've done that, scale it down a little bit, move, like this. Make sure you put varied amounts on each side too. So I'm going to do 3 for this. And yeah, I'm just going to put this down here. And one right here. And then we're going to like climb this up again. Scale it down. And then I'm going to move it over here. And then clone it again, and put one here, and it's pretty much done. So obviously this tree, it's not that realistic, but it kind of saves ink, and I don't know, it kind of looks nice in certain places. Like I'm pretty sure Jedi Building Academy has used that, so I don't know how to explain, but it can just look really nice. So yeah, that's our good old OG tree right there. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe. Obviously, there are a lot of trees in here, and a lot of them are inspired by other creative builds. So thank you guys for being awesome and making some pretty cool trees. Also, before I end today's video, I just wanted to say that I got my first tutorial gown. Poggers. Also, you know, if you're on the Discord right now, then don't forget to, you know, leave a good little tick, you know, it helps me out. Anyways, peace.